y'all rock. Thanks, guys. Y'all rock. Thanks.
Wait, do we have 10? Oh, yeah.
She said odd.
What?
We start odd.
Hey, Dad.
The thought of me giving a speech to an audience that I barely even knew about myself was really overwhelming at first. But the more I thought about it, the more I questioned myself, who really is Katie Smith? And that's my goal today, is to let you guys know a little bit about myself. The two things that I thought about growing up were, I had two constants in my life. The first one was my family, and the second one was my faith. Both are very, very important to me, even to this day, and they meant a lot to me back then, too. First off, my family. They were always there for me growing up, always there to encourage me, always there to help me follow the desires of my heart, I guess. They never let me down. They never let me feel forgotten or unloved. And I could always count on them to lift me up in my hard times. They were at every dance recital, every soccer game, every softball game, and every school play that I ever participated in. They were always up front and center. I always knew where to look for them, and they were even there when my brother came around. For the first few years of life, I was the only one around. I was the only kid. I was the only grandchild. So when Bradley came around, it was a little bit different for me. I had to adjust to a few things, but I could always count on them. They were always there. My dad was always there with the video camera. Mom was always there smiling and clapping away and encouraging me from afar, even when I wasn't right next to her side. The second thing that was super important to me growing up, and even now, was my faith. Church was a huge part of my life. I was there every Sunday and every Wednesday, and even during the week sometimes when the doors were open. It was always a fun place for me. It was always a positive place for me. It was always an encouraging place for me, so I loved to be there. It was the place where I first met any of my friends, which I'm still friends with today, which is kind of exciting and kind of cool. It was where I had my first crush. It was where I ever thought a boy was cute, and I ever realized that boys didn't really have cuties. It was also a place where I learned what it was like to follow Christ and what a life like that looked like, which was also really important to me growing up, and I think it's really important for kids to have a faith-like foundation like that when they're growing up. It was also a place where I learned how to take turns and what it meant to share snacks and just encourage your friends and be there for them even when they get their feelings hurt too. And to this day, my faith and my family are still very, very important to me. Like I said in the beginning, thinking about giving a speech about myself to an audience I barely knew was really, really overwhelming. But the more I thought about it, the more encouraged I was, because it allowed me to reminisce about my past and relive some really cool memories. So now that you know a little bit about me, I want to encourage you to ask the same question to yourself that I asked myself in the beginning. What are a few of the things in your life that have impacted you that make you you? Thanks. It probably wasn't 3